Hey everybody, my name is Pamela Mortensen and welcome to another Didgeridoo tutorial. Recently I had one of my Patreon patrons ask me to do a tutorial on the difference between playing a sound and making a sound. And I think what she means by this is playing music versus making music. So the thing I want to show you today in this video is distinguishing the difference between the two and then how you can get from point A, playing the music, to point B, which is making the music. So let's get started. First, let me start with defining the difference between making music and playing music. So I'll start with playing music first. So playing music to me is that point where you're actually learning like a technique or learning the notes to a piece of music if you're playing something like a piano or a guitar or even didgeridoo for that matter. And what is going on in that particular step is that there's really no nuances that are going on quite yet because you're busy learning the notes or the rhythms in this case. And so all of your energy is going to that. You're working and working and working and working and practicing so you can get it in the mouth, get it in the lips, get it in the tongue, the cheeks, the jaws, and even your breath. And so while you're working on that, what you're actually working on is what's called muscle memory. So by the time you get to where your muscles can remember something, then you don't have to think about it as much. And that at that point, you can start making the music. And making the music is where you start adding all of those little feelings, all of those little nuances and expressions to kind of convey what you want. Like if it's a message or an emotion or a story that you want to convey, this is the point where you do it. And that's the point where you start making music. And I want to talk about three tools that you can use, three practical tools that you can use to help make music. And I'll demonstrate all three of these. So the first tool is volume. Volume is like the loud, the soft of playing. So you can go from loud to soft or soft to loud. And this lends a lot of expression to the music. So for example, if I were to go from loud to soft, so what that looks like off the didge is something like this. So in order to do that, what I'm doing is like really pushing hard in the beginning and then really backing off on both the lip pressure and the air pressure to kind of get a softer sound. By the way, playing softly on the didge is some of the hardest playing that you can do on the didgeridoo. It's pretty difficult. I mean, it is achievable, but it takes lots and lots of practice. So if you can't quite get it in the beginning, don't worry about it. Just keep practicing. Just kind of, I'm barely blowing through the didge to get that. So, all right, similarly, going from soft to loud, it's the opposite of going from loud to soft. So basically I'm starting with very little air pressure and very little lip pressure, and then I just increase it to kind of like bloom that volume. To increase that volume so you can lend more shape and more substance to the music that you're making. So tool number 2 is speed. Slower speeds tend to tell the story of a very calm part of the story. So like, for example, if I were to play this on the didge, say I was playing like a really hard part, like very percussive, loud, in your face kind of thing, and then I kind of want to soften the story up a little bit, I will take the volume way down and then maybe play just a very simple rhythm, something like that's another way that you can lend shape to the music. So if you're playing loud up here, then you can kind of take that volume down a bit and then play a simple rhythm. And then when you're done with that part, you can ramp it back up to what you were playing before the soft part. So let me know if that makes sense. If it doesn't, then maybe I can find a different way of explaining it. The third tool I want to impart is our vowels, like the different vowels that you can use to kind of emphasize different things. Like I was playing a rhythm about 5 minutes ago. Let me go ahead and play this for you. So vowels for me, like the O's, the E's, the Ah's, the Oo's, the I's, the A's, those you can use to help lend an emphasis on certain beats. So like, say, for example, if I take a simple rhythm, so that do, daga, do, daga, do, dee. So this is kind of like lending an emphasis to what's called a backbeat. So I'll explain what that is here in a second. So if I were to lend that emphasis, it would come out sounding like this. So you can kind of hear that do, daga, do, dee, do, daga, do, dee. So the backbeat, for example, if you have numbers 1 through 4, usually it's the first and third beats that get the emphasis. But in this case, it's the second and fourth beats that get the emphasis. So it makes a pretty cool type of rhythm. All right, so I hope you guys found this helpful. Let me know in the comments below if anything did or didn't make sense. I'm always looking for new ways to explain something if it doesn't make sense. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Happy digging. Bye-bye.